Oh, hello.
Fancy seeing you here in this not exactly a Zoom meeting, but basically.
Yes. And you're right. You get to decide what people know about your clothing.
Thanks.
Okay.
Anyway,
Did you see my post about the scammer that tried to start a conversation with me?
where would the post have been posted?
On the Book of Faces, but I think I'll put it on the Instagram this afternoon. Um,
Well, I don't use Facebook, so that's your answer to whether I
that'll be
saw it.
why. She claimed to be Billy Boyd's manager. That's what's on her. Sorry, assistant manager. It's what's on her profile. And I was like, this person is probably a bot of some kind. But just in case, I liked one of their posts, and then they wrote to me the next day, "Hi," and I was like, do. Let's go to the thing and look at the thing, which is the thing, which is. They said hello, and I said hi there, and they said, how are you doing today? And I said, I'm fine. Can you please say something spontaneous to prove you're human? And they said, what do you mean? I said, 9,000 followers and 2 posts makes me nervous that you're a bot. To which they responded, are you so stupid? That's how you talk to people? OMG.
So then you blocked them because clearly they were a bot.
I said, so sorry for the mix-up. And they said, you should learn how to talk to people next time. And I said, no, I'm sorry, I mistook you for a person I want to know. You are clearly a scammer. Shame on you. Of course, I hear that people have been kidnapped and forced to work in scammer offices in India. And if you're one of those people, blink twice and I'll try to send help. At which point, they audio called me. And I did not answer. Because, either they have been kidnapped and this isn't going to help them at all.
Yeah,
Or
you
they
can't
were just
actually
calling
send help.
to. Yeah, I can't actually send help, unfortunately. I'll feel like a heel all my life if it turns out that they were reaching out for help. But I think they were reaching out to abuse me vocally. And I was like, nah, I'm eating my lunch. I'm not up for that. And then when I didn't answer the phone, they said, you're the most foolish person I have ever met. Hope you know that. And I said, dang. And they said, your mom. And that's when I blocked and reported them. So I am sorry, I can't remember the fake name that they had. I am if that was you and you've been kidnapped and you're being held hostage by one of those companies, I wasn't actually going to be useful to you. I would love it if I could be, but I'm not. And I think it's far more likely that you just wanted to harangue me and make me feel bad for my life choices, such as answering the phone.
They still got like 12 more responses from you than they would have gotten from me. I'm
I
like,
know.
if people follow request me on Instagram, I'm like, do I recognize you? No.
Nope. No, indeed. How dare you cash in on my love for Billy Boyd with this nonsense? Oh my God, have you seen? Have you seen? Have you seen? Have you
What?
seen what's going on in January and February
No, what?
in Canada? I've never wanted to be in fucking Toronto in January, but now I have to. We have to find a way. Quinn, Dominic Monaghan, and Billy Boyd, starring in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, are dead at a theater in Toronto.
Okay, that would be pretty good.
We're gonna play questions. I need this in my life. Yeah. And the play's a lot darker than the movie, and the movie was pretty dark, but the play's more so, but I don't care. I wants it. I wants it. It is precious to me.
Noted.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm at that point where I'm like, I just really need to be making money as an artist. Come on, universe. I've got all this great shit to spend money on.
I do be like that sometimes.
It's true.
There's a sweater pattern coming out in August, and it's knit with mohair and silk, and it would be like a cloud. It's going to be so expensive to get the yarn.
This is not a cheap hobby. None of them are.
No, none of them are.
It's rude. I don't like how much it costs to make your own stuff.
Well, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's partly the cost of having that thing, but it's also like, you know, that's most of my entertainment budget. I don't hang out in bars. I hang out on my couch and knit things.
You know, there are worse things. Oh, I'll be lapping us a fourth time because Avi has decided that Paddington is boring and he wants to be back in Middle Earth. So we're reading Fellowship of the Ring again. I am reminded, as I'm always reminded, that Gandalf just won't shut up every time. But I find myself chuckling because I remember the jokes we had the last time we went through.
Well, and Gandalf won't shut up unless he's asked a direct question.
Yeah. And then he's like,
I know, but I'm not telling.
Do you remember when he would show up periodically and look at Frodo good and hard and then leave again? And we were like, so this is what I'm picturing. Like, hello?
Oh, I'd forgotten about that. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
For the record, I'm not crooked. My camera is, and I can't figure out how to fix it.
It's okay.
I've been slowly trying to
put a magazine under one corner or something.
Just Igor it up a little bit.
My computer wasn't giving me access to the camera, and it's because I did a reformatting last week because of something that happened. It wasn't giving me something. I was like, what could be causing this? And it was like the Google results were like, well, clear out your cache, but that might cause problems. And I was like, cache gone. And it didn't help. And I can't even recall what I did that for now, but I am running up against the consequence.
I mean, if it's your browser cache, that's not really going to cause you that many problems, except you might have to log into some things again. But that's always the first step that we recommend for troubleshooting is something's weird and I don't know why. Did you clear your cache and cookies?
I did that. And now it's going to drive me nuts. I'll probably text you later. Here's the thing that I was doing that for. Here's the thing that I needed access to that was just not happening. And it turned out to be something else. I don't know. But it does not matter because we have a book to read.
I was going to say, we'd probably better start reading. We're only going to get through a paragraph today, right, as per the usual. Let me get my knitting.
Now, where the fuck were we? At the end of the chapter, or?
Oh, Lord. I'm going to have to get my book. Hang on. I think we were at the end of the chapter because they had gotten to the inn and they talked to Barlaman and then they went to bed.
Okay.
And if I can not have to get up and get my book, I would love to not do that.
All right.
Because my legs are tired.
Was it that Sam wouldn't go to bed until he had visited Bill in his stable?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, this is the project for today.
What is it?
Well, it's going to be a shawl. And so this is like the first corner of it.
It's
and
so
it's knit
pretty.
this way. And
like
then,
dragon wings.
like dragon wings or like waves.
Ah, waves. I see it. Yes.
Yes. There's other patterns that are very, very much like dragon wings that have like scales and stuff, but this is more nautical inspired.
Cool. Abby really liked being on a plane, by the way.
Lovely.
We had 4 different flights because we had to fly into Dallas and then on to our destination each time. Dallas was kind of a bitch. I do not approve of the Dallas airport because every single one of the chairs that I saw or seats that I saw was the anti-lying down and getting rest chair with the welded on armrests that don't move. And I was deeply offended by that because then they cause your flight to be 3 hours late and you've got an 11-year-old trying to sleep on the ground at 1 in the fucking morning. And I'm like, I hate you. Whoever made this decision, whoever decided that this was your priority, I hope bad things happened and you know it was because of that.
I have long maintained that airline seats, like the airport seats specifically, are not designed by or for human beings.
No.
They're like
and especially not people who've ever had any experience of an airport.
Or of sitting down.
Yeah, and we got back into Colorado Springs and there were a couple of those scattered around amongst the actual like cushiony benchy things. And there were travelers asleep on the cushiony benchy things. And I was like, see? That's what we wanted. Would not have been hard.
I think the international airports are worse about that because like DIA doesn't have any cushiony bench things either.
Nope. But be it known that if I ran the world, there would be cushiony benches in every airport. And if they're afraid of homeless people taking up residence, well, if I ran the world, there would be housing for homeless people. So they wouldn't have to fucking invade the airport.
Well, also, homeless people can't get into the airport. You have to have a boarding pass.
Right. Do they bypass? How do they get through TSA? Do they just ooze past or something like sneaky ninja?
Yeah, no, there's no homeless people in the airport.
Then they have no excuse. Even that, it would be a lousy excuse. But that's the only excuse I could think of that's a corporate brain would come up with.
I got nothing. Like, no one's going to the airport for fun. Why we gotta make it extra uncomfortable?
Right?
I don't know.
The travelers stayed in Brie. Speaking of the travelers stayed in Brie all the next day, and Mr. Butterbur could not complain of his business next evening, at any rate. Curiosity overcame all fears, and his house was crowded. For a while, out of politeness, the hobbits visited the common room in the evening and answered a good many questions. Brie memories being retentive, Frodo was asked many times if he had written his book. Not yet, he answered. I'm going home now to put my notes in order. He promised to deal with the amazing events at Brie, and so give a bit of interest to a book that appeared likely to treat mostly of the remote and less important affairs away south. Then one of the younger folk called for a song, but at that a hush fell, and he was frowned down, and the call was not repeated. Evidently there was no wish for any uncanny events in the common room again. No trouble by day, nor any sound by night, disturbed the peace of Brie while the travellers remained there. But the next morning they got up early, for as the weather was still rainy, they wished to reach the Shire before night, and it was a long ride. The Brie folk were all out to see them off, and were in merrier mood than they had been for many a year. For a year, excuse me. And those who had not seen the strangers in all their gear before gaped with wonder at them, at Gandalf with his white beard and the light that seemed to gleam from him as if his blue mantle was only a cloud over sunshine, and at the four hobbits like riders upon errantry out of almost forgotten tales. Even those who had laughed at all the talk about the king began to think there might be some truth in it. These people are very impressionable.
Very impressionable, but also weirdly skeptical of like, I don't know about the king thing. And it's like, no, I met him. You've met him. What do you mean you don't know?
Do you remember the phrase when the king comes back? It's dealt with in the appendices.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I guess I get it. If something has fallen that far into legend, and then someone's like, "No, really, it's happened," you're like,
I guess that's true. What's that? Do you remember that song? It's called Jerusalem. And there's a bit in it where the guy's like, the premise is that he is the Messiah returned, but he's also just really annoying.
I am the Messiah. I am the Messiah. I was gonna
wait till next year. Build up the suspense a little. Yes. That's the one. That's what I'm thinking of.
Because like I always confuse that one with the I built a little empire out of. That's not the same song. So how does the I Am the Messiah song go? Damn it.
I mean,
how does it start?
Oh, it starts when I tell you that I
love you, don't test my love. Just accept my love. Don't test my love.
Because maybe I don't love you all that much. That's the one.
It's fucking awesome. It also makes me think that Jason pointed this out like a couple weeks ago. He was like, it'd be really nice if the rapture did happen. Because if all the people who want to be raptured weren't here anymore, the rest of us could actually take care of a lot of the problems that
we could just get on with things.
Oh, yeah, right. Like, and then occasionally we send messages up to heaven like, oh yeah, no, rivers of blood, it's awful. Really?
Oh dang, we hate it so much. Don't come back.
Tear down our hair. Don't come back. It's rough. The lava monsters. Ah.
Oh no, squirrels are attacking.
We got zombies. Big ones.
Hairy ones. Hairy ones? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
The bodily uprising of the righteous and the unrighteous that the Jehovah's Witnesses keep talking about has gone horribly wrong. Anyway,
now that we both have that song stuck in our head, it'll be there for weeks. Trust me.
Earworm. Indeed.
Major earworm.
Well, good luck on your road, and good luck to your homecoming, said Mr. Butterbur. I should have warned you before that all's not well in the Shire neither, if what we hear is true. Funny
goddamn Barliman, bury the lead, Butterbur.
Every time, too.
Every time.
I'm going to call him that. But one thing drives out another, and I was full of my own troubles. But if I may be so bold, you've come back changed from your travels. And if you look now like folk as can deal with troubles out of hand. I don't doubt you'll soon set all to rights. Good luck to you. And the oftener you come back, the better I'll be pleased. They wished him farewell and rode away, and passed through the west gate and on towards the Shire. Bill the pony was with them, and as before he had a good deal of baggage, but he trotted along beside Sam and seemed well content. I wonder what old Barliman was hinting at, said Frodo. I can guess some of it, said Sam gloomily. What I saw in the mirror, trees cut down and all, and my old gaffer turned out of the row. I ought to have hurried back sooner. And something's wrong with the South Farthing, evidently, said Mary. There's a general shortage of pipeweed. Whatever it is, said Pippin, Lotho will be at the bottom of it, you can be sure of that. Deep in, but not at the bottom, said Gandalf. You have forgotten Saruman. He began to take an interest in the Shire before Mordor did. I love how Tolkien's like, oh, I didn't set up any of this.
Well, I'm also just like, Gandalf, if you knew that, and you knew Saruman was going to do this, why have you been taking your sweet time getting back?
Right.
Typical Gandalf.
Right? Yeah, it'll be fine. Well, we've got you with us, said Mary, so things will soon be cleared up. I am with you at present, said Gandalf, but soon I shall not be. I am not coming to the Shire. You must settle its affairs yourselves. That is what you have been trained for. Do you not yet understand?
Absolutely not what they have been trained for.
Right?
Go off.
Gandalf's the kind of person who will let chaos unroll and then be like, ta-da! Just as I planned. It's like the benign version of the Emperor in the Star Wars movies, because I always get a kick out of how every time something changes, he's like, aha, this is exactly what I intended. Yes. When I said you will rule the galaxy alongside me and your father, I meant you should die. Yeah. No, I mean, kill your father. No. Yeah, whatever.
I'm just going to say fulfill your destiny, because that could be a lot of things, and then I will be right.
Very politician-y. I didn't say that. Nobody said that. The destiny I meant was this destiny.
You heard nothing.
And Lotho being at the bottom of it, it's like we set up the Sackville Bagginses as annoying at the beginning of the story, and that is all.
Yeah, but if you have like a really annoying, like shitty neighbor, and you come back and you're like, someone's going to be cutting down a bunch of trees and generally causing chaos, I bet my neighbor's going to be involved in that. They're such a dick.
Neighbor. Do you not yet understand? My time is over. It is no longer my task to set things to rights, nor to help folk to do so. Sounds like a mother whose kids have grown. Nope.
I was... Just sounds like a you... Gandalf's just like, that sounds like a you problem.
Not my circus. Not my monkeys. And as for you, my dear friends, you will need no help. You are grown up now, grown indeed very high. Among the great you are, and I have no longer any fear at all for any of you. But if you would know, you'll be fine. But if you would know, I am turning aside soon. I'm going to have a long talk with Bombadil. Such a talk as I have not had in all my time. He is a moss gatherer, and I have been a stone doomed to rolling. But my rolling days are ending, and now we shall have much to say to one another.
Threesome.
I mean, I bet they swing. Goldberry and Tom give me that impression that given the opportunity, like, why do they have a massive bedroom attached to their house?
I'm saying.
Yeah. In a little while, they came to the point on the east road where they had taken leave of Bombadil, and they hoped and half expected to see him standing there to greet them as they went by. But there was no sign of him, and there was a grey mist on the Barrow Downs southwards and a deep veil over the old forest far away. They halted, and Frodo looked south wistfully. I should dearly like to see the old fellow again, he said. I wonder how he is getting on. As well as ever, you may be sure, said Gandalf. Quite untroubled, and I should guess not much interested in anything that we have done or seen, unless perhaps in our visits to the Ents. There may be a time later for you to go and see him, but if I were you, I should press on now for home, or you will not come to the Brandywine Bridge before the gates are locked." "But there aren't any gates," said Mary. "Not on the road. You know that quite well. There's the Buckland Gate, of course, but they'll let me through that at any time." "There weren't any gates, you mean," said Gandalf. "I have suddenly had a vision. Or I talked to people at the inn that you guys neglected to talk to and have a pretty fair idea of." Like, how does Gandalf...
Y'all were busy talking about hobbity stuff.
Yeah, fucking hobbit stuff. Or he has to be within a certain radius of something to understand what's going on with it. Like, oh, we're close enough to the Shire now, I can tell exactly what's going on.
Honestly, that would kind of make sense.
Right?
I can see that.
I'm trying to think of any other way that has applied, though. Because he got kind of blindsided by Denethor and the Palantir. And he definitely wasn't in the know about whether Saruman was still in the tower when he was trying to ferret that out of the Ents. So,
Yeah, it seems more likely that he talked to a hobbit of some sort in Bree.
Right. And then he saved the information for now so that he could sound omniscient.
Yeah. Gandalf has never volunteered information in his life. Come on.
Right. "There weren't any gates, you mean," said Gandalf. "I think you will find some now. And you might have more trouble even at the Buckland Gate than you think. But you'll manage all right. Goodbye, dear friends. Not for the last time, not yet. Goodbye." He turned Shadowfax off the road, and the great horse leaped the green dike that here ran beside it. And then, at a cry from Gandalf, he was gone, racing towards the Barrow-downs like a wind from the north. "Well, here we are, just the four of us that started out together," said Mary. "We have left all the rest behind, one after another. Seems almost like a dream that has slowly faded." "Not to me," said Frodo. "To me it feels more like falling asleep again." And now we're at the end of the chapter, and it's 8 o'clock.
So perfect timing.
So short, it still works. Because we're going to start scouring the Shire. It took me a while when we first started reading it. I honestly kind of thought the scouring of the Shire was a reference to the ruffians mowing everything down, and like the scouring of the Shire was the bad part. And then later I was like, wait, scouring isn't just like flattening something, it's also cleaning something. They're cleaning the ruffians out. That's what that was.
That's how I've always interpreted it.
And you know, Tolkien being who he is, he might have meant both.
Very possible.
Yeah.
I realize it's 8, but I have a brief rant that has just occurred to me. So I watched the first episode of a show called The Irregulars, which is not about constipation, as it turns out. It's supposed to be like a Victorian steampunk fantasy.
Okay.
It's supposed to be about these kids that are working with Dr. Watson to solve mysteries that are supernatural in nature, and they kind of they don't really interact with Holmes, but he's kind of there in the background. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
It bugs the crap out of me. It was.
Yeah.
I can't see. You're blurry.
I was just looking at the thing.
Yes, I presume so. Really just drives me bananas because they have the costuming is so bad, except for in very specific circumstances. It's really
modern.
It's really modern, And so is all of the dialogue and the plot and everything is really like super modern, but also like there's these tiny little things that they get right. Like one of the kids, because they're all like, urchins and whatever, they rent a
They're
basement
not
and then
very kid-like kids either. These are
well, they're
kids.
not. They're like teenagers.
Sure.
They're supposed to be 17 and 18, but he's still not very kid-like, I know. But like okay, so they're a bunch of teenagers. They were in a workhouse together and now they rent like a basement and they all sleep on the floor and all that stuff. And one of them has like at one point he puts a shirt on and the sleeves are too short for him. Like way too short. And I'm like, that is such a great costuming detail. Like that tells so much story. Why do the rest of your costumes suck so bad? She's like the B, who's the main character, wears pants. And the only reason for her to wear pants is to signal to a modern audience that she's the spunky one, and it drives me freaking bananas.
Yeah. No. Oh, that's rough. I'm sorry. And they were like, I know what looks old-fashioned. Layers.
Yep. I'm like they just look like fucking hipsters. Like modern hipsters, it's not good.
Yeah, no, it's I like this actor. I can't remember what I saw him in before.
Are you talking about
Watson.
the Watson? Yes, I couldn't remember either. I looked it up. He's the sorcerer in The Witcher that
Yeah.
sleeps with Yennefer. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's why I'm like, he just has a very sympathetic face, but also tragic.
Yeah, I remember thinking, I was looking at him being like, where have I seen him before? Where he was kind of a heartthrob, but also definitely an asshole. Where was that? But also, like, like, they completely fucked with the Watson character. He's a total asshole.
Oh man. Oh, that's so fucking depressing. So
Yeah, do not recommend.
Do not. All right. Thank you. Because you know how costumes matter to us. Mom gave us a fucking complex.
Well, between that and the amount of historical costuming videos I watch on YouTube, yeah, I've got a thing.
Right. I don't know how it measures up. I haven't looked into it, and if it's petered out. It's the second Firefly, for fuck's sake. I'm so sad. But the Nevers, I remember watching the Nevers and being like, I love all these costume choices.
The Nevers had great costumes.
It's good. They worked for the story and they worked for the period. And I was like, Joss, can you please just like have a personality transplant to be nice so that I can admire you again? Because your storytelling's on point almost every time. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, also, I think HBO just like axed it, like took it down. You can't even watch it on HBO.
I'm gonna have to go find it on hard copy or pirate it or something because
yeah,
it was good.
You'll have to, because that and the Westworld TV show, HBO has removed both of them from streaming. Streaming. This is why it's bad.
This is why it's bad.
Physical fucking media.
Oh, right? I hate to sound like a fucking survivalist, but that does seem to be a thing. If you care, get it physical.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have my little first and only season of Nevers next to my first and only season of Firefly because they have so much in common as far as ensemble cast, great everything, and then dead.
Well, thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and I will see you next week, and then it's the week after that's the book signing.
Awesome. I love you.
I love you too.
Cuidado.
Te amas.
Bye.
Bye.